Jet Set Radio is actually really difficult. Like, I didn't realize it when we had it on the Dreamcast. I didn't beat it, but I didn't think anything about it because I never beat any game. But Kellen's been really enjoying it, and so I've been playing it for him and unlocking all these characters, and I finally beat the game, but it's just a terrible game. Like, okay, it's not terrible necessarily, but the thing that I liked about it so much was the theme and the art. It's beautiful, and it's futuristic Japan, and it's just... But the controls are just rubbish. I don't know, you're like grinding on a rail, and you're like, I'd like to jump directly in front of the rail, and it's like, you'd like to go off at a 45-degree angle? Okay! And you're in the air, and you're like, no, go this way. Like you can in most games, although it doesn't make sense in relation to physics, because once you're in the air, you can't change the direction you're going. But it would come in handy in Jet Set Radio because of the wonky controls. Maybe it's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, I bet it is. But I beat the game. The last level is a giant vinyl record on the roof of a building, and it's spinning and you have to skate, and I'm trying to adjust the camera angle, but it's also the graffiti button. That's a whole problem by itself, and I don't know if that's necessarily with the game design or the controller talking to the computer and the Steam platform. I don't know. There's another Steam sale on. You know that. I know that because I bought games, and you've bought games, and you've bought games for me, and I've bought games for you. I had resolved not to buy Steam games this year. The thing is, this Christmas, this most recent Christmas 2017, me and Jared and Robert have this thing where we buy Steam games for each other, kind of a Christmas ritual of sorts. I don't know how it started, and I don't know if Robert and Jared buy games for each other. I bet they do, but I buy a game for Jared and a game for Robert, and they each buy me a game, and they're roughly about the same price, so it's really just buying games for yourself. But when I was looking for a game to buy for Robert, I checked his wish list and he only had 2 items on there, and I'm used to having like 10, 15. So I was like, man, why am I so ungrateful? I've got over 200 games in my library. Why do I have a list of 15 games that I think I want to buy? So to help combat that, I got my list down to like 2 items by going through and being like, I don't really want to buy that, it just kind of seemed interesting. And there was another list I found, following list, so you could still follow something and not be like, I want to buy this. But also I ended up just like buying 7 games for myself because it was a Steam sale. And so when New Year's rolled around, I resolved not to buy any Steam games for a year. And it wasn't so much a financial thing because Steam games are dirt cheap if you buy them on sale. It was more a matter of like self-control. I was in the habit of checking the daily deal every single day. It was rarely something that I knew about and wanted to buy. But what was more likely was that it seemed interesting, so I'd click onto it and scroll through the pictures and read some reviews and be like, I've convinced myself that I want to buy this game now, which is exactly what they want, which is why they do it. Somebody once told me that New Year's resolutions were dumb. And at first, I was afraid, I was petrified. No, I was not afraid or petrified. I gotta stop doing that or I'm not gonna get through this video. It's kind of like when you have a Harry Potter lunchbox and you go to school and somebody's like, Harry Potter's for nerds! And it stings, maybe not stings. It's hard not to take it personally. See, so because I had New Year's resolutions of my own and this person was like, New Year's resolutions are for dweebs, it was like, hey. But then I thought about my own attitude towards Christmas, which is similar. But don't get me wrong, Christmas is my #1 favorite jam of all time. It just seems that some people's attitudes are a little contrived sometimes. From Black Friday to New Year's Eve, it's that feeling you get from church, except everybody in the world is playing this game. Not everybody in the world, but a much higher percent of the people that you come in contact with on a daily basis. But then New Year's rolls around and people are like, back to me. It seems a bit ingenuine, but also it's kind of weird, like as a Christian who goes to church every Sunday and celebrates the prophecies, the birth, the life, the ministry, the atonement, the crucifixion, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ all year round, to focus specifically on his birth for 2 months. And I wouldn't even say that's the most impressive part. Like, being born is easy. Okay, it's not that simple. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Perhaps this person was like, you're another one of those people who only makes resolutions on New Year's and doesn't follow up, and you give up 2 weeks afterward. People are usually pretty self-aware about the resolutions they make that they know won't last very long. Yes, I was approaching New Year's resolutions wrong, because I shouldn't just be making resolutions for New Year's and then 2 weeks into it be like, oh, I didn't do it, I guess I'll try again next year. But re-resolve every month or every week or every day or every hour or every minute, depending on, you know, I don't know what kind of person you are. I don't know what kind of person I am. Everyone has different problems. And so if you need to resolve to quit picking your nose every 5 minutes, do it. There's a right way and a wrong way to make resolutions, and to say, I didn't keep my resolution perfectly, like if your resolution is like, I'm gonna go to the gym 3 days a week, I don't know, is that a lot? Is that not enough? Because I've never been to a gym in my life, as you can probably tell. But then to say like, oh, I didn't make it to the gym this week, I've failed, I'm not as good a person as I thought I could be. Maybe in a year I'll be the kind of person that can keep that resolution, is the wrong way to think, because the only way you're going to become that person is to make progress. Changes don't happen all at once overnight. You have to fall off the horse a few times and get back on. I know, this just sounds like a lecture from a dad, but I am a dad, so it makes sense, I guess. Also, I realized I'm looking down a lot, like, the floor is really interesting today. So, before the Steam sale, I was thinking, like, I'm not gonna buy any Steam games. But if I do, it's okay. And I did buy some this sale. I think it's because I really wanted to play board games, and I was like, oh wait, I've got Tabletop Simulator, and I can play board games with people. And then I got back into Steam, and so I found this game on Steam called Cultist Simulator. And it looks a lot like this app I found called Underhand. It's this really cool game. It's free, it has no ads. It's a deck building single player game about running a cult. And it's just kind of fun. I don't know, I liked playing. I played through it, I beat it, it was really short. But this Cultist Simulator looks a lot like that, except digivolved. What I'm trying to say is, don't tell me you care about New Year's if you're not gonna make resolutions every month of the year, or don't tell me about Christmas if you don't celebrate Jesus every Sunday. Don't tell me about Columbus Day if you don't know the population of Columbus. Don't tell me you care about St. Patrick's Day if you're not even Irish, although they do that. Don't tell me you care about Labor Day if you aren't laboring every day. You'd have to say laboring every day, because then you'd have the spirit of Labor Day in your soul. You're not hardcore unless you live hardcore. So I convinced myself this morning I didn't have time to make a video and do an oil change, so I was originally going to do this video while I was doing an oil change. And I started to, but then I realized that my microphone had no batteries, so what a waste. Then it turns out I have enough time, so I don't know, like I thought it would be too hot later in the day, but then it just rained, and I found a nice secluded part of the parking lot where people aren't gonna walk around with their dogs and be like, what is that guy doing? I guess that's it. I think I'm drowning, asphyxiated. I wanna break the spell that you've created. You're something beautiful, a contradiction. I wanna play the game, I want the friction. You will be the death of me. Bury it, I won't let you bury it. I won't let you smother it. I won't let you murder it. And our time is running out, and our time is running out. You can't push it underground. You can't stop it screaming out. How did it come to this? Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. So I found this game on Steam called Cultist. I found this game on Steam.